What I say when you're flying a drone and using it for photography and videography, it's the closest you can get to flying without flying because you can see the world from any angle that you could possibly want, and it just opens up a million times the possibilities for photography and videography.
Thanks for joining us on It Was F8, brought to you by Don's Photo. I'm your host, Jess Loso, and today I am joined by Anthony Urso.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm excited to get started, so I'm just going to get right into the questions.
Let's do it.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to pick up a camera.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, like Jess said, my name's Anthony. I'm just local Manitoban guy with a camera. You know, that's it. I like to take photos of landscape and cityscape photography. How it started, I never wanted to get into photography. I actually never had any interest in photography whatsoever.
Really?
It kind of just happened. From a young age, from junior high through high school, was always a adventurer. You know, I wanted to go out and explore the world. And me and my buddies during our summers would spend pretty much every day on our bikes, biking around Winnipeg, going to places we probably shouldn't, and just, you know, get into some cool places and just exploring and getting out there. And this was a while ago, so maybe on my old iPhone 5C, I think it was at the time, I just started snapping some photos just to show my friends and family what I was doing. And then one thing led to another. It kind of snowballed into taking photos just gave me more reason to get out and explore. And then 6 years later, I'm still doing it, I guess. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, it sounds like the camera ended up being a companion on these journeys, on these adventures for you, right? And so that was kind of unplanned, but yeah, I mean, you're going on these adventures, and why wouldn't you want to share that with people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even today, the journey and the adventures that I go on, that's still the main priority, even more so than the photos I'm taking. The photos are still secondary, but the photos just became more reason to get out and explore because it gave me now more of a purpose to get out and go find cool and unique places and just do crazier stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, you said more so like city and landscape, but is there anything else that you kind of delve into?
Yeah, I mean, for myself personally, the two things I love are cityscape and landscape photography. I've spent the last 6 years of my life exploring every single inch of Winnipeg. Yeah. And, you know, over the past 2 years, I've been spending a lot of time exploring outside of Winnipeg. So I definitely started as a cityscape photographer solely. And then as I, you know, like I said, I started at a young age in junior high. Once I got my license, kind of started exploring outside of Winnipeg through rural Manitoba and did a little bit of traveling throughout Canada. So those are my two biggest passions. That's what I love to do is, you know, travel, landscape and cityscape. But I mean, professionally, I do like architectural photography, promotional videos, a lot of drone aerial stuff, and, you know, kind of commercial photography.
Yeah, and that all kind of just ties in well together too, right? Because it's not like your subject is more so the buildings, the landscape. Yeah. You grow an appreciation for anybody that is creating these buildings, right? Because they really have to take into consideration the surroundings, the light, any of the design elements in the building kind of thing, right? And so what's structurally sound put together with what looks appealing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there a genre of content creation that you avoid?
Portraits. I stay away from people. I dislike shooting people very much. So I'm not the biggest people person. I mean, I'm an introvert, just to be completely honest. I stick to myself most of the time.
Well, thank you for coming in. You're an introvert.
No, I mean, I'm working on it. It's something I'm working on. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. But I'm an introvert at heart, and I don't like shooting people. I don't do weddings. I don't do portraits very often. Well, I've only shot portraits a handful of times. I stick away from that. I like shooting inanimate objects.
Well, I'm the same way. Like I do portraits because it's again, it's good for business. It's good to like get out and get to know people.
Yeah, it's good money.
Right?
It's good money.
And I'm extroverted into a sense, but your brain has to work two different ways when you're working again with inanimate objects and people's egos, right? And then being able to pose them properly, right? That is, and you have to pose everybody differently, right? So you have, like, for portrait photographers, like, it's a different kind of intellect that you have to tap into to be able to, like, do that in like the first 5-10 minutes that you meet somebody. Be like, okay,
Yeah.
I know all your great angles. I know how to give you direction, right? I can just go off into a sunset and be like, I don't know, like a sunset's not gonna yell at me, like take me from my best
Exactly.
angle.
Exactly. I like to just come up to a building,
Yeah.
set up my camera, enjoy the nice sunset, like you were saying,
Yeah.
take my photos of the property
Yeah.
or whatever I'm doing, and then leave. I don't have the mindset to pose people
Yeah.
and to put them in a way to make them look best. That's just not how my brain
No,
works. So
no.
I try to stick away from that, definitely.
Leave it to the professionals, right?
Exactly.